Hey guys, today I want to talk about Batanes. Batanes is becoming a pretty popular place with the military. And I once said to some friends of mine, I says, if Batanes had a military base there for the U.S., a shared military base, that'd be a phenomenal place to be because it's 200 kilometers away from Taiwan and it kind of locked down Taiwan being touched. I think that China might still act on it. You never know. But it would really give the U.S. a really good foothold to stop anything that's going on. There are 150,000 Filipinos in Taiwan, by the way, and that's why I think the Philippines is paying attention to what China's doing, because these people could get hurt if they try to take over Taiwan or whatever. There's also other things. If they take over Taiwan, are they going to continue and go down to the Philippines or go somewhere else after that and keep on going, as did Japan? Things happen and they just keep on continuing. But anyway, I want to talk about this a little bit because they said that the U.S. wanted to do, help with this port there. Now, in other words, right now during the typhoon season, it's pretty inaccessible during most of that time there because of the high waves and everything. So the U.S., I guess, wanted to kind of fix that, build a place there, maybe put something out there to make it so it's more accessible. Maybe it's a deep water port, I guess, too. Maybe do something around the island that would make it more accessible to ships that want to pull in there, refuel, pick up food or what have you. It would be a perfect place to do that. So we wouldn't have to pull into Manila. We wouldn't have to pull into places that are really highly, have a huge population. We would kind of attract attention to that. Instead, it's a small populated area. If somebody like China, I suppose, wanted to attack it, there's less problems with the population there, because if you have ships pulling to Manila or any other places in the Philippines, it's kind of like drawing attention to that spot. This here place is not a highly populated area. The Philippines is worried about what China's doing also. So, I mean, when you think about it logically, it just kind of makes sense that, Batanes would be the perfect place because of where it is. It's centrally located in the middle of the straits between Taiwan and the Philippines. It's right dead center. It's right in the middle. That kind of tells you it's the perfect place. 200 kilometers is not that far away from Taiwan. 200 kilometers is relatively close. American ships could pull in there, refuel, food, whatever else they need. They could have shore leave there. It would be kind of a boring place to go, I suppose, because I think those islands are kind of protected in their own right. I think it would be kind of a beautiful place for people to have shore leave, though. If you want to take pictures, it's almost like Ireland there. I don't know if a lot of you expats know about Batanes. We're not talking about Bataan. We're talking about Batanes. It's spelled Batanes, I believe. Batanes is different than like the Bataan Death March. That's with two A's at the end. It's a totally different ball game. It did have a lot to do in World War II because they had tunnels there that the Japanese dug. And they also have thatched roof homes there. The fields are really green. They have stone walls. It looks like Ireland or Newfoundland and Nova Scotia in Canada a little bit. It has like a different feel and look, but yet it has the volcano in the background with a jungle and there are coconut trees and yet there's really nice, beautiful beaches and cliffs and things like that there. It just has this whole different feel. It does not feel like the Philippines at all there. It has a whole different look. It's like living on a really remote island. It doesn't have that Philippine feel. It's probably one of the few islands in the Philippines that does not have that Philippine feel. Yeah, Filipinos live there, but it's just a different kind of place. It's kind of strange. It just doesn't fit into the Philippines really. It's so different that it's protected out there. They protect it, and there's not many hotels out there to stay at either. It's kind of a really strange place to go. If you guys get a chance, look up Batanes. Look it up, and it's a beautiful place to go on a vacation or something like that. If you want to check out someplace really cool, Batanes might be the place to go. It's a group of islands, okay? And if they build this port there, it's going to be something to be talked about because it'll be a place where the U.S. military could pull in there, reload. I'm not sure what type of role it would play for the Americans, whether they would allow them to keep certain ammunitions or anything like that out there. Who knows? And I'm sure this is being talked about in secret, what's going to be kept there or whatever. All this stuff is getting talked about. It's already in the news, or people are already hashing it out and talking about what they're going to do. You know, what's the U.S. going to do there? There's already talks about this. They're just talking with the Philippines right now about building this port in Batanes, and it will have a military role. If the military officials up there are talking to them, the governor up there and stuff like that, you can be assured that it's going to have a military role. They don't go up there because they just want to have a place to pull in to just refuel. I'm sure there's more to it than that, you know. But does it make Batanes a target? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, because it depends whether they put a base there, whether they have a military facility there, how much of a role it would play. But I'm sure it's going to, you know, piss off China for sure. It's going to have some, you know, repercussions. I'm sure China is going to say, hey, now you're getting too close. You're getting way too close to Taiwan. They're not going to like it, but yet they go down to Guam and have ships roll by and stuff like that, like it's no problem. So, you know, they can push our buttons, but we can't push back, you know. And, you know, some might say, well, the United States is really asking for it by doing this. Well, you know what? We have a role here to play. We have treaties. We have certain things that we signed off on to protect the Philippines, to protect Taiwan, and protect many other countries down here that are small countries like Palau. Palau is also playing a role in this too. Palau is the name of the country. It's a small country. There's actually a lot of Filipinos that live out there. It is also a place where military bases are going in, and I think they've already built some down there. I haven't heard much news coming out of there because a lot of this stuff is being kept under wraps. They're not, you know, disseminating this stuff to the news really that widely. But last I heard was that the U.S. was being allowed into Palau to build some bases down there. And we did a story about this a while back. And then after that, I never heard anything more about it. So I'm not sure if they got those bases there already. They also said that they were going to refurbish the World War II bases, and they were probably going to build new buildings there, or see what they can do about the older buildings to see if it's possible to rehab those buildings, or if they're just too far gone, we need to build new ones down there. But a lot of governments, you know, in the South Pacific are also jumping onto this too. And I think Papua New Guinea was one of them, or New Guinea. A couple other places I think were involved. The Solomon Islands were going the way of China for whatever reason. God only knows. I mean, I think that may change, though. I think that might change in the future because the people there feel one way and the government sold out. I think that there was a big sellout in the Solomon Islands. So it's kind of scary. You know, it's getting scary out there. It's getting to the point where I think at some point we're kind of at the beginning of where we were in World War II when things were starting to happen with Japan and stuff like that. I think we're starting to see that we are going to have a world war, you know, of some sort. You know, maybe will it be World War III? I'm not sure. But I think we're going to have some sort of war going on amongst some big countries. The U.S. is trying to change the political circles that it hangs out with, and we have these brick currencies, you know, throwing rocks at us, basically throwing bricks at us, kind of saying, hey, we're gonna damage you. And you know, Russia is definitely making major plays here with China. Now North Korea is jumping in, and they've always kind of all floated together anyway. They've always kind of been in their own little circles there, because they have no place else to go. And I think the United States is trying to rally the troops to get ready and say, hey, you know, it's time. And with this Batanes thing, I think that's huge. And I think if it happens, I think it's going to happen relatively quick. I think we're going to go into Batanes and try to get all the stuff we can done really, really quick for that, so that the straits are kind of under lock and key of the U.S. from there on in. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please leave your comments, good or bad. You know, it's okay to put your comments in there. You know, sometimes we agree to disagree on this channel. You know what I mean? I'm okay with people putting their comments as long as there's no swears. You're not attacking me or anything like that. You know, if you want to say your thoughts, say, Steve, I disagree with you, you know, respectfully or whatever. But sometimes you get people on there and they're wondering why their stuff isn't up there. It's because YouTube won't allow it, because I have settings on there that will not allow swearing or anything like that. So if you're putting that in there, they just won't do it. And so sometimes there's things in there that you guys say, I don't know what it is, but it sets off the YouTube thing and it just kicks you guys out. It's not me. I don't kick anybody out anymore. I haven't, unless you're going after my family or me personally. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.